Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Firefly Tarot. I'm going to be doing the weekly guidance reading. I know I'm a little late, so thank you for your patience. Hopefully a little late is better than never. So yes, this is predictions and guidance for this week. I did not handpick these. These were shuffled and pulled out. So these cards here that you see were chosen by Spirit, not by me. And these are going to be the selections for this reading. These are from my handmade deck, the Child Tarot. Unfortunately, they're not available for purchase right now, but I'm just letting you know that's the deck that I'm using. And I'll show you each one. Remember, it's a general reading, and if you'd like a personal reading, the info for that is below. Okay, so we have group number 1, the Wheel, which is supposed to be the Wheel of Fortune. Group number 2 is the Two of Imagination, which is the Two of Cups. Group number 3 is the 1, which is the Lovers. And group number 4 is Master of Polynoses, which is the King of Pentacles. So please only watch this, as always, if it resonates with you or if it calls to you. Otherwise, it may not resonate at all if you force it. But whenever you guys are ready, I will see you at your reading. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 1, which is the Wheel. So first we're going to be looking at your energy and just how you'll be doing this week, and then we'll get the outer energy. Spirit that's reading us for group number 1, the Wheel, please and thank you. Can you tell us how they'll be doing this week, just how their energy will be for this week, the final week of January? Spirit, now I'm moving forward only into this week. What are the energies coming towards group 1 and self? Thank you. Okay, so looks good so far with this 9 of Polynoses or Pentacles. It does look like there's this energy of standing tall on your own, standing in your power, and possibly freeing yourself as well from something that I'm guessing was keeping you captive in some way or keeping you restricted. There's a big mindset component to this card where you're shifting within your mindset with regard to this, which is I think a big reason why you're able to feel this way, actually. So this may have already happened, being that I'm posting a little bit late. So this could have already happened today or yesterday, but either way, it's happening very soon. And yeah, feeling pretty good there. What else, please? What do we need to know for this week and the energy of self? Anything coming towards them? Possible timing. Yeah, so again, really, really nice. We have here the Ace of Wands, or in my case, Ace of Summertime. So this is around the time, I would say, of Wednesday. Some of you may literally be around, I think, some energy that could spark this, which is passion. Some of you, it's creativity, spirituality, something just like a dose and a boost of that energy. Some of you could actually be in that environment, I would say like around Wednesday-ish, or perhaps Thursday for some of you. If not, it's still going to happen. It's still showing that boost of that creative, passionate, fiery energy. It could be that you're very excited to start something new. It could be that you're very excited to be around the energy that is there in some way. Can we have a clarification for that card, please? This is the High Priestess card, Daydream. And I think what is happening, this is like a double kind of a thing here. The energy is outright and conscious, but it's also subconscious or unconscious for a lot of you too, meaning it's going to spark something deeper as well. Like whatever's going on here with this present energy where you're feeling inspired, there's also something growing too on the unconscious or subconscious layers here, kind of like a seed being planted of an idea, or it could be something creative, something spiritual, anything at all that gets you to that fire place within yourself. So this may not show itself this week entirely because it could still be kind of growing, but they are letting you know that it is there, or that it's coming, so that's nice. We have here the 9 of Wands, so around maybe like Wednesday into Thursday, depending on what's going on, or Thursday into Friday, like it's kind of rolling forward. This to me, I don't know if this is a little bit of almost like a trigger of exhaustion. Like if that only will apply if a lot of you tend to feel exhausted or overwhelmed when it comes to a new project or a new wave of that passionate energy. This is, again, it's only going to resonate if that's already happened to you. If not, it does show, I feel like this internal tiredness or exhaustion when it comes to overdoing. So the advice there, I think, is just to really be mindful that this could happen, especially if you have that tendency to maybe overdo or to struggle with keeping some sort of balance with things. Some of you, this actually could be, again, environmental as well. Kind of like if you're overwhelmed, if there's like, a mess or like environmental stress in some way. It's just like a sort of like a chaotic environment, let's say. So yeah, do your best here to try to balance out that energy, whether it's by taking it easy, going easy on yourself as well if you tend to be hard on yourself, because there is kind of something there that could be a little bit too much. Not anything, that you cannot handle, not anything too over the top, but it is a call to kind of bring a little bit of balance to your own mind and to the situation. Okay, so here with this is the Empress card. This feels like you're going to immediately be balanced once you take care of you, which is, it could be through eating the right things, going into nature, creating something, resting. There's a lot of nice energy coming here from the Empress card. It's just something that you do in order to get right back into your balance and your flow and your center. You probably have already done this. You probably already know what to do. And if not, some of these suggestions could be appropriate. But yeah, it's looking okay. It's looking good. Any final messages for how they'll be doing or feeling or in their energy this week? So towards the end of the week, there is something that is going to come out in a subtle way. With regard to your own feelings, this is something that I think it might be related to our first card that I drew here, the Nine of Pentacles. So that is just me guessing, because actually I've never noticed this before, but we do have some visual similarities here. Look at the carpet alone, and then the way that this is super duper interesting, because this energy, this person, or rather the child, kind of looks like it's looking at that shadow. So, and then there's the cage there. But then when we bring it into the shadow energy, it's like the fear kind of takes over the ability to release oneself from the cage. And there's a key in this card. So this is all really interesting parallels. Some of the same colors too, with the purple. I don't know, this is weird. Group 1, I recommend to maybe even write down or otherwise note how you're feeling now and into the beginning of this week with the Nine of Pentacles. So this is going to help you once you get towards the end of the week. If you start to become afraid, if you start to become anxious, or feeling that sense of limitation, or whatever this represents for you with the Devil card, Monster in the Dark. Because this Nine of Pentacles is how you got out of that energy. You freed yourself in some way. And maybe write it down, maybe just like, or you can like record yourself, or like just have it ready, like be prepared, because by the end of the week, this could be around like Friday-ish. If you do start to feel that way, go right back into this energy, which is your power. So maybe repeat some affirmations, maybe just immerse yourself in that original energy that made you feel better, and then you'll be more likely to release whatever this is. I feel that this is going to be a state of mind. Yes, it could relate to your environment. We'll see next. But this, I feel like, is more of a state of mind. Now, with the Wheel card, which was your actual card that you selected in the beginning, this does feel like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts. Like your guides are all here. They're weaving the web sort of a thing. They're giving you messages. The skies are aligning. The energy is aligning all within itself. So this is a very significant time for you and your growth. So, the only thing to really do is just to keep going. Be proud of yourself, hopefully, for all that you've come through so far. All right. Now let's take a look into the outer world, meaning your environment or any significant events, conversations, or whatever else. Spirits for group 1. The Wheel. Now and moving forward into only this week, what energies are coming towards them in their outer world? Please and thank you. Okay, I don't know if this is I wonder if this could be related to group 4, but I kind of doubt it because this is what the group 4 had. So we do have someone's energy here. I'm laughing because I never know what the heck I'm looking at until later. Okay, alrighty. It's gonna resonate differently because there is a chance that this could be the two people represented here, actually. Someone is still in this energy of like, I don't know, maybe detaching themselves a little bit here. Whoever is this energy with the King of Pentacles, I always notice that their eyes are closed. So there could be some weirdness going on this week with you and another person if that resonates from what's already been happening. So if I'm translating this to a lot of you guys' situation, Page of Wands does show someone with this active energy kind of trying to spark up perhaps a conversation or maybe even some sort of closure or some sort of conclusion to a previous conversation, let's say. The King of Pentacles, what is happening here? The King of Pentacles is striking me as someone who doesn't know what the heck is going on. It's someone who's just like, I don't know if their head is in the clouds, they're focusing on something else, they're very distracted, but I'm feeling like this person is really out of it. And with the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles, this is another vibe to me that feels like emotional distance or separation. So obviously it's going to depend on how you know this person. Spirit, what is going on here with the King of Pentacles and the Page of Wands? Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Maybe someone wants to walk away or run away, while simultaneously this could be you wanting to keep moving forward, okay? What is the advice for group 1 with regard to this, please? Yeah, just keep going. I mean, this was actually the card that you got before with the popsicle. The Ace of, what was it, Summertime? So it's the same thing. You guys are going to be doing well this week, especially with your popsicle. Like, you're going to be doing very well. So I think that regardless of what's going on with you and potentially another person, the energy is still the same. It took me a minute to find it. Here it is. So yeah, this is the same card. The energy is still the same. The advice is to tap in to your inner fire power and your either spiritual or creative power, which is the fire power, and to just really like embrace that energy. Because I do feel like if you kind of entertain someone else this week, you're not going to be pleased with that. It's going to be very blah, disappointing, frustrating, or other negative, outcomes or emotions. So there's nothing to worry about with regard to this, meaning there's nothing maybe even to do. There's not a lot of action to take. Obviously follow your intuition, but that is what I'm seeing so far. What else do we need to know in their outer world? What's happening this week? Yeah, it's looking really nice for you later into the week. We have 9 of Cups, and you did have a few 9s in your reading already. And I feel like that is showing you that you're getting very close to the ending of a previous cycle that really wasn't working for you. The wheel is the number 10, so that shows 10s meaning completion, right? So you're getting there. You're very close to it. This I feel is like around Saturday or so, where you're going to be feeling a lot more fulfilled within yourself. I feel like a lot of you are just hopefully, going to be relaxing or replenishing, recharging your energy, not having to worry about other commitments and doing other things, just doing your own thing. So I feel like you're going to enjoy that. Then we have here the Strength and the 8 of Swords. What is the message here? Because this is separate from your energy, I'm noticing. The 9 of Swords, another 9. Is this about group 1 or is this about someone else in their energy, please? Because it kind of feels like it's someone else. This has to do with either someone or something that has a tendency or might actually run the risk of slowing you down in some way. So again, try to be a little bit mindful of when that could happen. I think that all of this can be prevented or coped with if you're mindful of what usually could happen to you and your energy. So for example, if there's a tendency for you to get sucked into other people's emotions or feelings, if there's a tendency for you to feel, anxious or down when you're not taking care of your own energy or your own self, then just like stay 2 steps ahead of it, and you will be able to prevent whatever this is. This just feels like a bit of like feeling knocked down in your strength for some reason, and feeling, yeah, like a bit of that anxiety and also stuckness. Okay. So yeah, what else? Is there any other events or conversations or energies that they need to be aware of for this week? Outside world, outer worlds, final messages. So we have the world again. I feel like a bit of that completion energy, and the number 10 again to show completion. So as you guys can see, this does have to do with that devil energy, again, which we did see before, which is this card, the Monster in the Dark card. Okay, so there's an overlap here. So in your inner world as well as your outer world, some shadowy, dark, negative cycle should be coming to an end, even potentially as soon as this week, although I'm not 100% sure of the timing, just because of how this came out, but it is possible to end the cycle this week, which is really nice. So it is up to you to kind of discern like what this has to do with, because a lot of you, it'll be a different thing. It could be, again, it could be a pattern within yourself, but because it showed up here too, it does show that this affects your environment, your situation, maybe your connections. So final message about the devil card in their outer world, and what is this representing? Yeah, I mean, it does show in some way in your outer world that this card does tend to represent some kind of blockage or stuckness, whether it's with you or even someone in your energy or something in your environment. So what is the advice? I mean, the advice I felt automatically was free yourself in any way that you can, even if it's in small ways. Free yourself. Remember that 9 of Pentacles. That was just such a nice card for you guys. And with the Star card, this is showing hopefulness, hope and faith, especially in a spiritual sense where, you believe in the grand scheme of things, you believe in the path, you believe in your guides and all the things divine, and just really reconnecting with your spiritual center. Come back to spirituality if it calls to you, like read spiritual books, maybe articles, meditate, anything at all that brings you closer to that heart space and within that soul center. This is really going to be, I think, the most helpful for you. Any final messages of what's happening for them this week, outer world? Thank you. Group 1. Remember, the wheel is turning for you guys. Like, it is going to all become clear. And that is what I'm seeing here. King of Swords, it does feel like clarity. Being that this could be outer world still, I feel like this represents your clarity as well as clarity that potentially could be coming in this week with whatever. Like, it could be like a conversation that you were waiting for. It could be answers you were waiting for. It could be a person reaching clarity. So either way, I feel like this is good. This could be happening, I don't know, maybe like around Friday-ish. But I think otherwise we're all right. We're all right. Spirit, final advice. Final advice is just keep focusing on what makes you feel good and empowered and successful in a spiritual, emotional way, not necessarily like outward achievements with a check mark, but no, something that helps you to feel this way, victorious within your own right. Okay, so group 1, really interesting reading. I hope I got enough information for you because it was a little bit hard to read. But yeah, you can let me know below. Either way, we're looking good. But thank you guys so much. If you want, you can check out my other pick of cards if they call to you. And if you want a personal reading rather than this general one, the information is below. Thank you guys so very much. And I will see you next time, okay? Blessings. Bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 2, which is the 2 of Imagination or the 2 of Cups. So first, let's just take a look into your energy, how you'll be doing. Spirit, this reading is for group 2, please and thank you. Moving forward into just this week, please, what energies are coming towards them in the area of self? How will they be doing? Okay, so this is the Death card, Roundabout. I mean, this looks like a really specific message, but only if it resonates, because I feel like you would know already. that this looks like there's a little bit of apprehension about a pattern or cycle. Maybe a lot of you are contemplating that already, kind of thinking about that. Some type of cycle that either you've already been in and maybe you've been trying to get out of. It could be a repeating cycle inwardly or, of course, within your life, whatever was kind of going round and round. This doesn't say anything bad is going to happen. It just shows that there's this fear or concern with regard to that. So if that's the case, maybe I can recommend first, I think a lot of you would really benefit from gaining a little bit of clarity first before anything else happens. So for example, if there's something with regard to jobs or relationships and connections or, your environmental life in any way, maybe figure out how you'd like to proceed, just what is your intention? Maybe not necessarily a goal, but what is your intention here and how is that going to look different than the past? Okay. So again, only if that resonates. I feel like some of you, it has been a concern, so see try to find what's true to yourself in your, the way that you are now, your current self, your current and true self, because I feel like that's a different energy than the past. Spirit, what else? How are they going to be doing? So this is a really good sign. So this is the Emperor card, and it does show that you are feeling better pretty much right away with that potential nervousness or, fear or whatever it was that you were feeling. So with the Emperor card, we are seeing someone who feels a lot more empowered, a lot more in their own conscious control of themselves, and kind of like just it's almost like that feeling where you're standing tall, that's what it felt like for me. And I do feel like you're kind of still protecting yourself from something, so that's probably a good idea. That's probably important to do. But you are kind of realigning with yourself and your power, which I think is always a good thing. There's a calmness here too. I'm really not feeling that fear is going to persist. This is already probably from when you're watching it. I mean, I'm posting this on a Tuesday rather than Sunday or Monday, so I feel like this is already kind of aligned for a lot of you. What else, please, for this week? Yeah, same kind of deal. I did see centeredness and, feeling that power, and here it is. We have balance. This is a Justice card. Yeah, so I feel like internally, for a lot of you, this is going to be a really strong week for you, mainly because of this, mainly because of that feeling of balance, because when we are balanced, I feel like we're at our most powerful, right? This also could be suggesting some sort of mental balance too, especially if there's been a lot on your mind lately, especially if you have not, been feeling the best in that way, emotionally or mentally. This is going to be different. I do feel like that mental strength, and it's funny because there's a chessboard here, which can kind of talk about, I guess, like the mentality where, I guess if you're winning a chess game, like you know what you want to do, you feel confident in your moves, and you can kind of, chess is sort of like a calm game in a sense. So yeah, that is what I'm feeling there. Anything else that they should know about this week for the Two of Imagination group, Two of Cups, group 2, Self? Thank you. You're going to be moving right along. This is the Eight of Wands. You're going to be moving right on and right forward to whatever it was that you were thinking about, or whatever new thing comes to your path. This is around the time of Thursday-ish for most of you, where you're just going to be feeling so capable and so free to proceed and to pursue things. And I'm not feeling a blockage at all. I mean, they're not telling me anything about the future at all. They're just showing that you're going to have that energy, well, not even excitement. It's going to be more like, because when I think of excitement, I think of something a little bit more fleeting, but that's just my perspective. I feel like this is going to be a higher perspective in a sense, and you're going to be feeling high vibrational energy with regard to this movement. So you're going to be going right through, and you're not going to be feeling intimidated or blocked or whatever. So it's really nice. Final message for Self. So with the Three of Swords, I knew something was going to come through. I had a feeling. But with this Three of Swords, or whatever, Three of Cicadas, This does show that there is still that caution, okay? And I am circling back to the first card because I did feel, again, that anxiety. Now, remember I had said that there was this pattern that could have made you feel anxious. But let's remember, you're not the same person from when that pattern began. So although the Three of Swords could be this underlying concern, it doesn't mean that it's going to be, like a three-dimensional obstacle for you anymore. It's not even going to be an emotional obstacle for you either. However, I do think that it is worth noting, or it is worth remembering and acknowledging these potential feelings, because I feel it's always important to explore your emotions where you're not pushing them down, because that can make them probably 10 times worse. So try to acknowledge how you're feeling this week. Try to really be mindful. And if you do need to go through these feelings, let yourself do that, So whether it's like crying it out, talking it out, writing it out, anything at all that could help you to kind of hold the feelings in a basket and saying, like, here they are. And then when you're ready, you can release them effectively without that pattern. Okay. So yeah, I mean, otherwise looking really good. Now let's take a look into if there's any significant things happening in your outer world. So this is like events, maybe conversations, any other things to note. Spirit for group 2 moving forward into only this week. What energies are coming towards them in their outer world? Coming towards them in their outer worlds that they need to know about. Any situations, events, conversations. So this has to do with either another person or people that you've been dealing with. It could be a situation such as simply just like work related or something like that. And yeah, something here is a bit stuck in that area. This is not you. This is just like the situation or something having to do with like the people or even like a project or whatever resonates for your current situation. I'm not sure with the Temperance card and Page of Pentacles if this is talking about the same thing, but in some way in your life, in your outer world, there will be a good amount of healing and flow returning to whatever previously wasn't working, and including an addition of some type of prosperous outcome or potential or something. So it's going to have a nice ending state over here, or outcome state. Now going back to this, let's see, what do they need to know about this? What does group 2 have to know about this thing? I'm not really feeling a bad energy. I just kind of feel like there's something almost like a stall energy. Almost like a feeling of something kind of had to stall, or something having to do with divine alignments, So that could be a possibility. So how is this affecting group 2? This could be affecting you because I don't know if you were waiting for results. I don't know if you were waiting on hearing about a situation or something like that. But either way, I think there's good news coming. So I wouldn't, be too concerned. Yeah, no, absolutely. So whatever it was that kind of looked like it was stalled or delayed or kind of like up in the air, or someone had some trouble with it, I feel like it's going to be good. I feel like in whoever is involved, if you're involved and if another person is involved, there's good energy coming. There's good news coming, meaning, you're going to get an answer. You're going to get positive news. You're going to get an offering. You're going to get like that abundance and prosperity that is coming through almost immediately, if not already. What else, please, for this week? What's happening here for group 2, outer world? And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. What's going on here? This appears to me like there are two people. I'm not sure if it's two people that you know or that one of the people is you. Okay, because different situations, right? But there are two people here, a masculine here and a feminine here, and there's a lot of, what do you call, like, it, I think they use the word almost like disoriented or It could be confusion. It could be a lot of fog in some way. And then when we add the moon card, that's double to me. Kind of like confusion, or I don't know if it's like uncertainty. But these two people are not communicating well. I mean, I think they're communicating, but they're not communicating clearly at all. I made this comparison recently, and I'm feeling it again, even though we're not there yet when it again, it feels a little bit Mercury retrograde-y, even though that's not actually what's happening. So, obviously, like, that's what it just feels like to me. It just feels like that warped kind of energy and confusion that is reminiscent of a retrograde. But so what is the point or purpose of this message for group 2? What do they need to know about this? How is this affecting them? Yeah, two people are not on the same page, and I feel like partly why is because someone is still dealing with shadow energy, right? So whether it's their own shadow, like darkness, confusion, negativity, like feelings of captivity, something like that. And maybe they just lack the strength right now to do something about it. So maybe they're just telling you this because either you're directly involved and you're one of these two figures here, or this is something in your environment where you kind of needed a little bit more confirmation or something. So is there an outcome here that we can know about? I mean, it does look like it's going to move forward. It does look like it's going to just kind of move forward in a natural way, and it won't stay in this state forever. I don't think it can. I don't think any state like this can continue forever. I think that eventually it's going to become clear. And I kind of feel like someone is going to even take a step back and just let things happen, and there's going to be, it feels almost peaceful. With the 10 of Pentacles, this is a good sign. In whatever shape or form it's meant to resolve, I feel that it will. Because that's a little bit, again, depending on your situation. So if you're meant to continue with either this person's energy or the situation in itself, it's meant to continue in your life. It does feel like it's peaceful, it's calm, people are getting along. If you're not meant to deal with this or this person or this situation, and you're meant to like walk away from it, depending on your circumstances, it still feels like the same thing. It still feels like even if you're, separate, it feels like it's just peaceful. Like people are just going about their way and kind of like having come to some sort of mutual agreement, and just it looks good. Any final message, advice, or anything for group 2? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're saying something about just be careful of battles, or like something exhausting that you've already been through. Yeah, and there goes the tower. You've already been through a lot of these towers and a lot of the... It really is exhausting. All I'm really feeling is just to stay really aware. With the Two of Swords, it does feel like, again, it's the tendency to feel quite blocked, but with the Eight of Wands and what we saw earlier in your spread, I'm really feeling like you're just not going to be affected anymore by these things, whatever this was. Even if in the past it was something that affected you deeply and greatly, I feel like that's done. I feel like you're done with that, and your energy flow is going to continue very nicely regardless of what's going on in the outer world this week. And that's it, Just stay in your power and stay within your boundaries. I don't know what that means for you, but a lot of you may have placed those. And I do feel like that's going to help you. You don't have to force anything or be overly, rigid or cautious, but I do feel like they're reminding you, hey, stay in your power, stay with what makes you feel good within your own power, embrace that, because again, there could be a tendency to feel quite shaky because of other things or people. A little mysterious, but I guess I'll leave it there. Group 2, please let me know, your thoughts, how this resonated. I hope it did resonate and was helpful. But yeah, so if you would like a personal reading instead of this general one, the link is below. But thank you guys so much. You can check out my other pick a card readings. You can subscribe if you're new here, if you found this helpful. But otherwise, yeah, good luck with things. And I hope to see you next time, okay? Blessings. Bye-bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 3, which is the one or the lovers. So let's get into it and how you'll be doing this week first. Spirit, this reading is for group 3. Please and thank you. Our lovers group, the one. Spirit, moving forward into just this week, please. What energies are coming towards group 3 in the area of self? Okay, so we have here the Wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. We have Papa, which is the Emperor. Let's get one more. And then we have Child of Summertime, which is the Page of Wands. So far, a really beautiful energy. I feel like there's going to be this powerful alignment that is happening for you. And I don't say it a lot. I mean, actually, I do say it a lot in the way of, I do always see a connection between some of the groups. And this one's sort of obvious because you got one of the ones that's mentioned as the face card, basically, which was group 1. But I do feel like there is this crossing of themes and whatnot. The Wheel card with your destiny here as your first card, then moving into another major arcana card, Emperor. This is really showing a strong and stable, steady foundation for you on your spiritual path. And I feel like the fact that you chose the Lover's card or the one, to me, especially in the area of self, that does feel like a ton of self-love and balance. And then we have Child of Summertime or Page of Wands, and it just feels like almost like that nostalgia from childhood, something having to do with realigning with your true self and your true soul, your true fire, or whatever it is. In the background, I do see the dolphin waving hello, and then we have the ladybugs and other signs here in this card. So it further feels like you're aligning with your soul's path by aligning as well with your guides and what they have for you. Their signs and synchronicities and guidance for you. All of it is coming together, again, very beautifully. So I feel like this is really nice. I feel like this is not just energy for this week and it's going to be fleeting or anything. I feel like this is showing you in your soul's path and your personal path where you are in your journey. And it's a really solid presence here. What else, please, for this week? What do they need to know? With this card, the 5 of Cups, 5 of Imagination, this feels like a very obvious feeling of having to let something go, okay? So, yeah, it could appear a little bit like, you know, an ending. I use the word death as in like the death card, because it just feels like something had to come to that completion, or maybe it's still on the way towards that. And yeah, it does feel like, of course, this is going to feel sorrowful. I mean, that's just, you know, that's human. Of course, it's going to feel that way. I feel like by the time that this comes through, this feeling or whatever's happening, you're going to handle it in an extremely mature way. You're going to have full knowledge and scope of why this happened or is happening. And because of that, you're going to be able to really accept things and not like fight it, you know, like you're surrendering fully to this whole thing that's happening. And you're also going to be able to see the potential outcome and where this is going. And again, why this had to happen, leading to other future events that needed to happen as well. This is all part of your alignment. This is all part of the greater plan, I feel. So this could be coming through, I don't know, like mid to late week. It's different for everybody. That's why I'm not getting a day too much. I don't know if some of you, it was a situation you had to let go of. It could have been like a connection, you know, that you had to let go of. But you know the phrase of like, whatever's meant to be in our lives for whatever amount of time, like that's just what it was meant to be. That's pretty much what I'm getting here. Like things were what they were meant to be. And it's not that anything went wrong, That might appear that way, though, of course, but I don't think that this is something that went wrong. I just think that that's the way that it was meant to be from the beginning. Yeah. Here with the Healer of Imagination, this is the Queen of Cups. This is actually, I'm getting kind of like around like Thursday or Friday with this card. This does feel like what it says here. Like it does feel like there will be a significant healing for you. Healing, balance, grace, going right back into your intuition, your flow, your psychic ability, it's sort of like that cleansing water flow that's coming through here. So I feel like that's going to really be helpful to you and cleansing to you within your soul, and you're gonna almost like be gliding forward, very skillfully, might I add. So I think that towards the end of this week, you're gonna be feeling in a higher vibration. You're gonna be feeling more, I think, like aligned with yourself, with your skills, your talents, your passions, your focus, your path in itself. Because I really felt like I saw this image of someone skillfully ice skating. That is not an easy thing to do. And you were just moving forward, and you felt so good about that. And you felt very balanced and secure, even though it was like this slippery thing. Any final messages for self this week? Yeah, I mean, it is confirmed. This is the Temperance card, and I was mentioning flow, and here it is again. So yeah, there's going to be a significant healing that you're going to be experiencing. Like, it does still, a lot of things like this, especially endings or whatever's happening here, again, of course, it's going to be painful at times, but I think that, with the way that the Temperance and the Healer card is coming through, it does show, like I said, the way that you're handling it is kind of like expert level in terms of your spiritual maturity and development. You do have beings watching over you. There's multiple spirit guides that I'm seeing here. You have the bird here as well, literally like looking over you, watching over what you're doing, and you're kind of like exercising your creativity. You're exercising a lot of you, it's like throat chakra stuff. So skillful communication this week. You have to speak to somebody, you have to like tell your story. Something like that is going to also be happening. And I think that you're going to be feeling really good about it. And again, very much aligned with that. So yeah, we're looking good. Interesting kind of thing going on here in the background. Let me know if that resonates, but we're really looking good so far. So let's take a look at your outer world and see if we can kind of connect those dots. Spirit moving forward into their outer world, or moving forward into just this week, what energies are coming towards them in their outer world. So we're looking into events, situations, maybe even conversations. Okay, so whatever was going on that was kind of like a conflict in the beginning of this week is gonna move forward and be resolved, whatever the heck that was. The Five of Swords does show some, I don't know, it's almost like a conflict that wasn't worth your time, or you were just so over it, like whatever's going on there. The energy is still, in a sense, going to be present, but it's not going to affect you or block you or be a concern at all, because it's showing that it's just continuing, and it's like the air is clearing it in that Eight of Wands. And then moving into the Eight of Pentacles, you're still doing your thing. You're still focusing and refocusing on what you were doing, feeling good about that, kind of like creating like a solid, again, foundation or alignment for yourself. And I feel like you're building something. I'm not sure what it is, but you're going to be building on something, and successfully so. What else is coming towards them in their outer world this week? External forces, anything. Okay, so we have here Strength, we have Two of Pentacles, Three of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune again. What is this? Where is this energy coming from? Could be a situation if I can't see a person. I feel like someone here, it could be you actually, is really trying to be strong and make a decision that could be painful on one or two sides or more. But with the Wheel of Fortune leading this line, it does seem that whatever is going to be decided here, I'm assuming, was for the greater good, or if it was not for the greater good, then this whole thing is going to be affecting the greater good. Like, this is something having to do with your whole path. Oh my goodness, again, with the Five of Cups. So yeah, that is clear, okay, that it's connected now. So you guys picked the one, which is the Lover's card. So there is a chance, of course, that you're dealing with another person this week, or you've been dealing with somebody else, and there's emotional upset going on here, especially it could be in the background, but it is obviously kind of obvious as well. But what is the advice? Like, how can they deal with this, or what is the outcome of this, or the energy for this week for group 3, please? I do suspect that there kind of does have to be some kind of ending. Of course, that is up to you. I don't know if it's the same kind of ending for everyone watching. It's probably not, but it does look like they're phrasing it that way. They're saying there kind of has to be an ending, but I guess, just assess how you'd like that to look, or maybe not about how you'd like it to look, but what feels right to you. And you honestly can only go by that, even if it's a step-by-step process. You might not know how it's supposed to look in the future, but you can only kind of take it step by step and feel that comfort within your intuition. Is there anything else I need to know for this? Let's take a look at this. What do we need to know for the Two of Pentacles, please? Maybe someone here was being stubborn or rigid or controlling for some of you, but for others of you was more like they just were more, I'm just getting more of like a stubborn energy where possibly they were controlling their feelings or something like that, whoever this is representing. What else, please? Yeah. Now we're seeing two different forces here. So yes, this is involving two people, whether it's you and someone else or even two other people that you know. And yeah, so we have Emperor, then we have King of Pentacles holding the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like we're really on two different pages. I feel like the Emperor is looking this way. The King of Pentacles, even though his eyes are closed, he's actually looking this way. So it's almost like two people are really at odds. And, one of them could be looking at the battle energy and another could be looking at the prosperous energy. So we even want different things in a sense, or at least we want to go in different directions in terms of like where we're going is going to result in two different things with these here. So what is the advice? What is the final advice for group 3 with regard to this? I feel like the advice is in the Wheel of Fortune card, because this is a card of destiny. So there may not be a clear decision that is made this week, because the Wheel of Fortune kind of suggests that something could change in the situation, right? And because of that, we may not have all the facts. We may not have all of the, energy we need in order to be able to confidently make that decision, I guess. Okay, there's a third energy here. So the King of Wands is now coming through. And I think that was supposed to be your advice. I feel like they're reminding you, maybe, I think this is just a reminder of what you already know. This is like showing you with the King of Wands that you do have to remember, I guess they're kind of saying, remember your power, but I feel like there's something else they're trying to say. The Knight of Cups, well, this is really hard for me to figure out because it's two different things. Some of you, I feel like there's more emotion that's going to come through after you've initially made this decision. So be on the lookout for that. So in other words, you may be feeling one way this week, but then once you hit the next week or whenever into the future, you're going to start to see other emotions or things or energies come through. Just be aware that that could happen. So maybe it's not going to be a final decision, or at least if it is, you have to still be aware that there's something still coming up for you within. Now for the rest of you, I do feel like you're more confident. You're more confident about like basically how you feel as well as how this needs to go. If that's the case, then just continue to be aware and on the lookout for the signs or for the further guidance and direction, because I feel like your guides are nowhere near done with this whole energy stream. It's going to be connected to more stuff in the future. So it's going to be like a rolling basis where you just have to be aware and work with your guides as much as you can. Any final messages of what's coming through this week? Any additional things? But yeah, someone is really working through a lot of emotion, a lot of healing. I feel like there's nice potential for a brighter future for, I don't know who involved, but it's there. Okay, we have Knight of Swords, Three of Cups. What's the message here? This I still feel has to do with other people, and it feels still kind of like the same thing. There's potential for movement forward, but it's unclear who's going to be separating themselves, if they will, actually. Because here it does feel like collaboration. Here it feels like shared energy, shared joy, shared conversation. But then with the Nine of Pentacles, it's someone who's really just kind of wanting to stand by themselves for a while, if not more than a while. So I do feel like this is going to be your decision, group 3. I feel like that's, yeah, there was a strong message here with the Two of Pentacles that it is going to be wavering. So all you have to know about making this decision is that you may not be able to make it right away, clearly. But that is going to be eventually coming through. Final advice for this. And they're not giving me much else, so I feel like, you know, that's it for now. The final advice is literally the same thing. I feel like maybe some of you want to continue to work with someone or collaborate with someone or something like that. But with the Two of Swords, it's either showing that there's a blocked emotion or there's a lack of having the full picture just yet. So I don't know why they're kind of being super mysterious about this, but let's get one more card from here. The Win, which is the World's card. I mean, whatever is the case, I can confidently say that whatever's meant for you is going to come through. I just don't know what that is because it's different for everyone's situation. The Win card, it just feels like a level of like peace and satisfaction and feeling like I have closure, I have completion, I can finally move forward with, like, you know, something lighter. And that is true regardless of what you end up doing, I feel. Okay. So if you need something like a to be continued reading after this, you can check out my other pick of cards, whichever one calls to you. It could definitely resonate for this situation, but this is, yeah, this is still to be continued. So I guess I'll leave it there for now. All right. So again, watch out for the synchronicities and guidance from your spirit team. Okay. So group 3, I think that's it. If you do want a personal reading instead of this general one, my link is below. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe if you found this helpful. Thank you guys so very much, and sending you many blessings. And I will see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye. Hey guys, this is the reading for those of you who chose group number 4, which is the Master of Polynoses or the King of Pentacles. So we're going to just look at your energy first, see how you'll be doing, and then we'll get the outer world. Spirit, this reading is for group number 4, please and thank you. Master of Polynose group. Okay. Spirit, moving forward into just this week, please, what energies are coming towards group 4 in the area of self? How will they be doing? I was drawn to the Rake on the card, and I kind of feel like they were saying that you're going to be clearing something out, cleaning or clearing something away from your energy that maybe was kind of cluttered, and yeah, just kind of like clear your mind or something like that. Now we have the Wheel. I think that you're the third group in a row, or I forget. You're the third group to get this card, so it's like it's just a very powerful message about our spiritual path, where we are, destiny, everything. So for this week, there is a really strong calling for you, and for some reason you guys have a very strong resonance with Friday. I don't know why. Even though this is the first card, I typically wouldn't say that. So yeah, there is a strong calling here with regard to your spiritual path, and really paying attention to all of that, being extremely and more heightened awareness with regard to that. So that came through. They're talking about something having to do with the sun, like literally being out in the sun or having some type of illumination come through, so that could be something there. What else, please, this week? Okay, so here we have the 4 of Polynoses or Pentacles. We have Master of Summertime, which is the King of Wands, and What else do we need to know? Like, how is this gonna... So I feel like you guys are trying to sincerely work out something with yourself where I think like in the past and maybe in the present, there was some kind of either hesitation or I really don't want to say blockage, but I feel like there was something blockagey in your energy that affected your confidence, your power, your being able to feel in your center, even your happiness. But it was something with regard to yourself. Like it was some, issue that you were feeling within yourself. Now, maybe instead of blockage, it feels a little bit more like hesitation, which obviously could be a form of blockage. It feels kind of like, here I am, I'm standing there, I'm holding something, I'm looking at everything, but I can't seem to step forward. So yeah, I feel like that is going to be a big part of this week in terms of either you figuring something out or you are taking that step forward. Yeah, so we have here hanging around, which is the Hanged Man. Okay. I don't know if something with time and timing is important for you guys this week, like specifically. So it's still kind of the same thing. These two are giving these feelings of like kind of being a bit blah, stuck, hesitating, delays. I mean, the colors, wow, it's exactly the same. The colors and the facial expressions, that's pretty wild. I'm not even sure what to make of this, but what is the advice for these two cards, please? Yeah, I never noticed how similar they were. This is going to sound a little silly, but I mean, every card is going to be symbolic. In order to move forward, they kind of said you have to put your shoes on. This symbolically is saying that you have to prepare yourself. So if you are going to literally go out for a walk somewhere and move forward in life, you do have to be prepared. You have to protect yourself and you have to, basically equip yourself. And in your case, it's like literally these shoes. So maybe get ready. This week is like, okay, let's get ready. Let's set that intention. Whatever is that thing you've had your eye on, if it's a goal, if it's an intention, if it's a path in itself, a decision, just ready yourself. Okay? Like that's the Filipino in me saying that. That's how my mom would say, like, ready the whatever, like, prepare yourself for whatever's going on here. Again, we have that time factor. And weirdly enough, I have my watch next to me. I don't know why I had grabbed this. I was wearing it at first because I was like, for some reason, something with a watch and time I think is going to be relevant to you guys. I don't know. I just felt compelled to do that because there's a watch here. It's broken. So there's like that timelessness. Now here we have the Child of Imagination, which is the Page of Cups. All right. Something is really working out for you guys in a beautiful way. You may not be ready to actually embrace this happiness or joy just yet. I feel like there was a hesitation to receive that. One of my eyes closed, literally. So by the end of the week, maybe like Saturday-ish, there could be some huge shift that you're going to be experiencing with yourself, okay? Your heart space, your soul, your ability to hear your guides or to feel the soul energy of your whole path, okay? So that's a big shift. Lots of flying creatures here too, with the ladybugs and the hummingbird. Just like a lot of little animal guides showing through as well. Any final message for self? I think that's pretty much it, but I think you're going to have to really be willing to look into yourself. This is almost like a mirror in this case. I mean, obviously, this is also the selection for group 3. Only if you feel called to group 3, maybe there's a message there for you as well. I mean, and this was group 1, but you don't have to watch anything. I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious. But yeah, with the Lovers card here, the 1, this is showing that you're going to have to really look within your own mirror or within other important mirrors. So, for example, if situations or people tend to draw out things within you, like whether it's like, triggers or emotions, positive or negative, you have to kind of look into that this week. So do a little bit of self-reflecting, maybe. That could be helpful. Alrighty, so very interesting messages there. Let's take a look at how your outer world will, I don't know if it'll connect, but let's see. Spirit, now and moving forward into their outer world, what energies are coming into only this week? What energies are coming towards them in their outer world? Please and thank you. Master of Polynoses, group 4. So 10 of Cups, always looking good. Let's see how it'll continue. Okay. Alrighty. So this 10 of Cups, I mean, obviously it's going to depend on your situation, but typically it does talk about something with other people, whether it's family, or a relationship or a connection in some way. Now, I'm not sure what's been going on, but however it resonates with what has already occurred. The Hanged Man could be suggesting that there was a limbo that you were experiencing. Maybe there was like a hanging conversation, a hanging energy, something just wasn't resolved. Now that should resolve this week for you guys, and it is going to be moving forward kind of naturally. And with the Ace of Swords, this clearly shows us some sort of communication or answers that are needing to come in. Now, if this is not like in your personal life, it actually could be within other areas. It even could be with work. But I do feel like you're going to be having some answers and definite clarity, meaning like an actual direct conversation or direct communication, which is always nice if that's what you were waiting for. What else do we need to know about this here? Yeah, I don't know what the holdup was. It could have been because of someone and a decision that they had to make. The opposite would be it could have been because of someone's fear or hesitation in receiving it. So either one could be relevant here. Now we have the Fool card, which is a nice sort of a freedom energy, and I'm feeling a huge wave of relief as well coming from this card. This is a new beginning. I'm not sure if it's necessarily your new beginning or the entire energy itself is receiving a new beginning as a whole. Could be. Okay, so again, whatever resonates, but the new beginning, the new fresh energy is coming through. It's like a sense of adventure, relief, and freedom from burden, freedom from stuckness, let's say, whatever the case was. Outer world only, please. Thank you. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. Okay, what's this talking about? And how does this affect group 4, and what's the significance of receiving this? Whoop. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, at first I wasn't sure, but here we are getting some other beings here, other people involved here. So this one is purely going to be depending on your situation, so only take what resonates here. But this does look like there are two people here involved, and perhaps someone was feeling quite burdened and trapped because of something. Someone else is trying to make a decision with regard to their happiness and their future, and their freedom. And I'm feeling like you're not too far away from this person. It kind of feels like you know, you're close to this person in some way. Could be literally within the proximity, you know, like they're right there, or like emotionally close. We're looking in two different directions. I think another group did get something very similar. I don't know if it's like a collective thing or what is going on, but this is actually kind of the same thing. So how is this different for group 4? How can they navigate this? Ah, I see. So this is the sort of the important message for you guys and how it's different is the Justice card. Something in this situation either was not fair, or there was some karma involved, or some imbalance involved in any way. And the answer, or at least where this is heading, I think, is going to be the Justice card. So something is going to be made right. Something is going to come to, what's the phrase? Like, honestly, the phrase is escaping me, but it's going to come to clarity, and it's going to reveal itself when the time is right, regardless of what you choose or think about, or another person chooses or thinks about. This is a little bit more in the hands of higher energy, because of the fact that it could have been like, either something karmic or something that just kind of needed to correct itself because the energy flow was not okay in the way that it was going, if that makes sense. Okay, so maybe just let that happen. I mean, you're free to make your own decisions, but I kind of feel like this situation is going to perfectly fix itself in some way. So what else do we need to know? Anything additional, anything final for their outer world this week? Thank you. Okay, I kind of feel like that's it. I feel like someone here, if this could be you, this could be someone else, is really, really following that wheel. It's such a strong and like face forward connection, and the focus is unwavering. I mean, at least for this week, with someone when it comes to that wheel, that destiny, that spiritual path, and it's just like all they're focusing on. The Tower card is going to be what will, I think the Wheel of Fortune is going to lead to any possible Tower moments that have to happen, which is, revelations or other kinds of abrupt and significant changes, even endings or whatever. But this is definitely not the type of Tower card that comes through just to mess with us. Not that that's really what happens, but it feels like that. This is the type of Tower card that brings the ultimate enlightenment. This is like, in terms of energy, this is showing us, this is revealing a glimpse of your highest self. And that's a very strong statement. I don't know if anybody, I mean, I can't think of anybody that is in their highest self right now. I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but like, as far as, I guess, the rest of us, it is kind of like we have to see it in glimpses. It's such a high powered, high vibrational energy that it's hard to stay in that, in the long term. But whatever's happening for someone this week is going to align them with that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how it resonates for you, but it's super duper interesting. Let me know, please, below. Final message for group 4. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's it. What they said with the King of Pentacles, which was your, I guess, your group card, it kind of feels like we're okay. It's just like, stability. And in this case, it's like a peacefulness and having what you need, and just trusting the process, taking those small steps or those secure steps moving forward. And we're looking good, group 4. So I don't know if this was helpful because it was a bit confusing for me, but I hope that it was. Again, you can let me know, but thank you guys so very much. If you want a personal reading instead of this general one, the link is below. And please feel free to subscribe if you're new here, if you found this helpful. Okay, so yeah, sending you blessings and good luck with everything. And I hope to see you next time, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.